Monday, November 6, 2023, MMAOB Daily Podcast. Adam Martin, Big Marcel. We're going to preview UFC 295, the 30th anniversary card for the UFC. I'm looking forward to previewing this, Marcel. It should be a good card. I know that we obviously lost John Jones and Stipe, guys. It sucks, but I do like the replacement fight between Aspinall and Pavlovich. I think you said today, Marcel, we lost another fight, Aliev and Besky. We might get a replacement for Besky. I got to be honest, that one fight, it's a little strange on this card because it's two guys that are not American and in New York, but it's still a good fight that we lost. So I'm disappointed by that. But let me check how many fights we have right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so we got 12. We still have 12. Hopefully we'll have 13. Let me get some comments really quick, and then I'm going to ask you about the card. Fun card, yeah. 30th anniversary, 0 promo. UFC only most coverage. UFC pays them. There's not much promotion for the 30th anniversary card. I do think it's a very good card, though. What do you think, Marcel?
They have that round table on YouTube right now with the 6 of the 8 fighters of UFC 1. That's really fun, I think, to watch. I still have to watch.
I haven't watched that yet. I saw them promote that. It's cool, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
They've done a decent job with highlighting the historical part of it, but I also agree with Glenn. I don't see much advertisements. I think if Jones was fighting Stipe still, it would have been a little different. But let's be honest. Jiri and Alex are amazing fighters, but they're not that same star power that John Jones has. So I think the UFC is probably fuck, we just lost such a huge fight, But again, they're making so much money right now, they don't even care. Nazim's out. Nazim, yeah. Is he out? Nazim's out?
I know Narullo was out. Aliev.
Oh, no, you gotta be kidding me. Was there
another
fight?
I thought you're sure you mean Sadykhov, or do you mean Aliev?
Todd, what's up, man? But I hope you're wrong. Because fuck, dude, I don't we just lost the fight. I'm gonna see if I'm seeing anything. It wouldn't surprise me we lost another one. I'm not seeing anything. He must have got them confused, right? That's what I'm guessing.
Maybe he means Narullo. I hope you mean Narullo.
Because the Narullo fight's off. All right, he watched it. This guy Knox, he watched that documentary. That's cool.
Okay.
All right, Marcel, I ask you every time, what's your overall thoughts on this card, UFC 295?
To be really honest, it's kind of underwhelming for a 30th anniversary card. I think it's a fun fight. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a fun card. But I mean, think about it. There are 0 current champions on this card.
I know. I noticed that. That's very odd. Alex said it. Oh shit! Alex said it.
Behunin. Let me see.
Oh no! Did he really? He lost the second fight. You gotta be kidding me! I can't believe that. Well, I got the bout order right now, and shit. What do you say that? You could check it, Marcel.
I don't see him, man.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me though. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Let's get into the card, guys. So we're at so let's get into the card. We'll start with the first fight in the card. I'm using UFC stats, by the way. Again, as always, I like using UFC stats. That's supposed to be the official bout order. First fight in the card: Denis Buzukja against Jamall Emmers. Odds for this one: Emmers favored, Marcel. I think he's the biggest favorite in the card. He's minus 250, which I think that speaks volumes to the matchmaking in this card because it's very tight fights, as far as the odds go. Jamall Emmers is the biggest favorite in the card at minus 250, and then you got plus 210 on Denis Buzukja. Marcel, go ahead, give your pick.
I think it's I like Buzukja a lot, but Jamall Emmers is so underrated, you know what I mean? I think Jamall Emmers got screwed in his last fight against Jack Jenkins. I think he won that fight. He lost a split decision. Then he actually fraud checked Kusan Ashkabov. That's a fraud check, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Before that, he lost to Pat Sabatini. He did what he actually didn't have to do. So, I don't know. I'm going with Emmers. By the way, I just got a message that Nazim is still in so far. So I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay. I see what Todd's saying though on James's Discord. If you guys aren't in that Discord, go in that Discord. It's James Lynch's VIP Discord, and you can get through his Patreon. We're all in it. Alex breaks news in there. He doesn't necessarily tweet them out. Alex Behunin, we've had on the show, great dude and well connected. I think for now, Marcel, until we get confirmation, we will talk about the fight. But just be warned, guys, it might be off. Anyways, you're taking Emmers, right? That's your pick?
Yeah, I'm taking Emmers. I'm taking him by decision.
That's my pick too, but I don't know, man. I mean, the guy is kind of mid in my opinion. I don't think he's great. He's 2-3 in the UFC. I thought he won the last fight, but again, it's too close for comfort. And against Buzukja, I know Denis lost his debut against Woodson, but it was short notice, and there were some things he did well in that fight. I mean, the guy is a pretty good striker. Now he has a full camp. I think this fight's going to be very competitive. I actually think that there could be some value in Denis here as a big dog at plus 210, but I'm not willing to take a shot on him. I mean, he does have some advantages. He's a lot younger, right? He's fighting at home. He's a New York guy, so he has some advantages, but I do think Emmers is probably the better fighter. I'm going to take Emmers by decision, but again, I think Buzukja could win this fight. We're going to say Marcel.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Buzukja is fighting actually at home. He's from the Saralongo team, right?
Yeah.
It's possible, but listen, man, I like Buzukja a lot, but I gotta go with Emmers.
Same. So we have the same pick here, but we both kind of feel like it's a fight that, could be a live dog situation. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Flyweight bout between Josh Van and Kevin Borjas. Minus 245, Josh Van, Kevin Borjas plus 200. I'll start on this one, Marcel. I don't know about you, man, but I like Josh Van quite a bit in this fight.
Yeah, me too.
I was so impressed by his debut against Jalgas. Took it on super short notice against a guy with a ton of experience. I know Jalgas is cut now, but just going into that fight, I mean, most people thought Jalgas would win. Josh Van is only 22 years old. He was only 21 when he had that fight. He's 8-1. He's finished all of his fights except for that one. I think he's been submitted once, but overall, very, very good prospect. Fury FC guy. Again, he has his feet wet in the UFC. He landed 120 significant strikes in that fight, won a decision. I was impressed. I thought he looked good, and 22 years old, super young. Now, Borjas, don't get me wrong, man. I thought he looked really good. I'm not going to say his nickname, by the way. I don't want to say it on the podcast. You can read it if you want, Marcel. Go to UFC stats. I'm a little surprised they have this nickname listed.
El Gallo Negro.
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
That means what does it mean again? El Gallo. What means El Gallo again? It's the black.
Is it chicken?
Yeah, it's a black rooster. I think it's a black rooster.
Yeah, I thought so. And what was that? Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Anyways, what was I going to say? No, sorry, no, I know, right? I got all chopped up. Listen, the guy looked good on the contender, right, against Victor Diaz. He came in there as a huge underdog and won the fight. He's only 25. He's going to turn 26 in a couple weeks. It's impressive, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't think he'd win the fight, but he ended up winning. But again, like, I like how the other guys got the feet wet in the UFC already. That's what I really like here. And again, I just Victor Diaz is not in the UFC. Jalgas was in the UFC for a while, and I understand he does a bad record, but like Jalgas should have won at least like 3 or 4 of those decisions that he lost. So I just thought what Van did there to me proved he's in the UFC caliber fighter. Whereas Borjas, I don't know yet. I think the fight might be somewhat competitive, but I just think Van wins. I'm like pretty confident in here, Marcel. I feel good about Josh Van in this fight. I'm picking him by decision. I feel pretty good about him. What do you think, brother?
I feel the same way. I think Josh Van is very good. It's actually funny. Who do you say that? Anglicized his name because it's spelled differently, I think, in Vietnam, where he comes from. I really like the guy. I think he's very good. We saw him against Jalgas. He was supposed to fight in Contender Series. Actually, he was supposed to fight Kevin Borjas in Contender Series, Oh,
that was the fight that was supposed to happen. That's crazy.
So they rebooked pretty much that fight. I think Van wins. Van is really good. I really like what I've seen so far from him. I'm going with a decision here. By the way, just a little update. I just asked Sadykhov's side, and they say everything is okay. So I don't know what's up.
Alex might have confused the Norello fight. It's possible, eh?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I don't want to discredit Alex because he's great.
He's always right about stuff. Yeah. I know exactly. He must have heard from the others. Maybe they're lying to you, Marcel. It's possible.
That's possible. I don't say. I just say what I get told. That's all I say.
For now, like I said, we'll break the fight down. Yeah. But it could easily be scratched, guys. So just keep that in mind. Looks like it's scratched. That's what we're hearing. Our fighters pull a 1 2 before the card. I guess fight week injuries, jitters. I really don't know, brother. They don't get paid, so. Injuries fight. Yeah, hey, True. What's up, man? Glad to have you here. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys.
Every time I see the name True, I have to think about True Jackson, the show back in the day.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to the next fight here. This is another fight that, like, I kind of feel it should have been an Apex fight, but it's on this card. Castenada versus Kang. Don't get me wrong, like they're both pretty good fighters. I'm surprised it's on this card.
It got shifted, dude. That was supposed to be on November 18th. They got shifted to November 11th.
That's what I thought. Because I had the my like bout orders and I had it for the Paul Craig card with Alan, right? So anyways, I guess they needed a fight in this card. They filled it in. All right, so the odds for this one: Castenada -150, +120 on Kang. Marcel, I actually think this will be a competitive fight too. And again, the odds are close. Yeah. Both guys are good, man. Kang has been in the UFC for 10 years now, guys, and he's very underrated. His record in the UFC is 8-3-1, no contest. That's a very good record. I mean, the guy has proven time and time again he's a UFC caliber fighter, and no one really talks about him. He's not a contender, but I don't think he's won one bonus in his 13 fights in the UFC or whatever it is. So not the most exciting guy, but he knows how to win fights. And then you got Castenada, who what is his record? 3-2. But I think he's looked really good. I think I've been impressed by him, Marcel. I think he's had a solid run in the UFC so far. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good fight. I like this fight. I just think it's a little off that it's on this card, because to me, this is like the perfect fight for the Apex. I see quite a bit of grappling in this fight. Both guys are very willing to go to the ground and grapple. My lean is John Castenada, just because I feel like he's got a little bit more upside here, Marcel, but I think Kang can win too. I'm not betting on this fight. I'm staying away from it. I'm leaning a decision here for Castenada because Kang is very tough, but I could see Kang sneaking it out too, honestly. So pass for me, Castenada decision, pass for bet. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a fun matchup, I think. I think it's they were really competitive with each other. By the way, John Castenada can be my brother-in-law anytime he wants, because I think his sister looks really good. I have to say it, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, all you guys gonna run to Instagram, I know, better do that. Kang, super underrated guy, man. I think he's really good. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Everybody counted him out in the Quinones fight as well. I pretty much picked also Quinones, but big mistake for me, And I'm not going to make that same mistake again, dude. I'm picking Kang here. I think Kang gets it done. I'm picking him by decision. I really like to do it. I think he's underrated, like I said, and I think he wins. But I think it will be competitive, fun fight.
Yeah, he's definitely got a chance. There's quite a few dogs in this card that I think have a good chance. I think there's on this card, Marcel, there's most of the fights I'm like, I don't want to bet on this fight, for instance. I just think a lot of them are very close matchups. I picked him against Quinones, so I definitely know this guy's solid. It's good this comment. Van, Borjas, prospect. Yeah, they usually don't do that, but the UFC wants to keep that fight together because it was supposed to be a contender. All right, let's go to the next fight, Marcel. We got Jared Gordon taking on Mark O. Madsen. And odds for this one, Gordon -200, +160, Mark Madsen. I don't know about you, man, but I'm kind of going to fade Mark Madsen here. He's 39. He looked really bad against Grant Dawson, in my opinion. I mean, before that, he looked decent, but overall, like pretty favorable matchups. I think against like other guys, he could out grapple, but the striking, I just don't think he has a well-rounded game really. Whereas Gordon, like, he can grapple, but I think his boxing's decent. And against Bobby Green, man, I thought he looked really good on the feet before that headbutt. And then even against Pimblett, he should have won that fight. I know he also lost to Dawson, I get that, but I don't know. I just think there's more here. And, he is the younger guy. Like, Madsen's 39. What's his name? Gordon's same age as me. He's 35. It's not like it's super young, but, I just feel like I feel better about Gordon. He's also a New York guy. He's fighting at home. He's from New York City. I think he'll have the crowd behind him. And here's the other thing. I think the cardio is in his favor too. So I could see Mark Madsen winning the first round here, Marcel, and then Gordon slowly taking over as the fight goes on. And then either like a late finish or a decision. But I like Gordon in this fight. I think he wins the fight. He's another guy that, is one of my more confident picks on this card. Jared Gordon by probably decision / third round stoppage maybe. But yeah, I like Gordon here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. By the way, check your WhatsApp and don't share it. Yeah, I think Gordon wins as well. I really like what I've seen from Gordon so far. He got that weird ass headbutt against Green, remember? And Madsen, I feel like Madsen is getting older, and I wasn't really like impressed in his last couple of fights. He can try to go for takedowns, but I think Gordon will somehow stop them at a certain moment. I think we'll go to decision. I'm picking Gordon to win by decision. That's how I see it going, pretty much. I don't know. Is Adam still here? Apparently not. So, guys, what a beautiful day today, right? I mean, what else can I say? Now, I'm actually, do you guys hear me, or is Adam gone? Let us know, because Adam is like freezing for me. Do you guys still hear me? Let me know. I'm Adam Martin. I'm Mick Barcel 42. So, okay, you guys can hear me. I see Knox's message. I don't know what's up, man. I don't know. I hope Adam can fix it anytime soon. I will message him right. He's gone. Bye, Adam. I'll message Adam. What's up? I don't know. Hey, dude. Where you at, George? Where you at, George? Yeah, what should we talk about, guys? I don't know. I don't have anything to talk about pretty much than this card, So it's I hope Adam is back soon because I'm talking bullshit right now. So I don't know. Madsen and Gordon both Abdul Aziz aren't they? Glenn asks. Yeah, I think they are. I'm not sure.
What happened there? There we go. I'm good.
I have no idea what happened.
I don't know either. Are you guys good? Everyone's okay?
We see you again.
All right, awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. All right, let me get the comments here.
Adam, I told you before you start the podcast, stop downloading that porn.
Dude, I just clicked off of the X on all the porn videos. All right, Madsen, Gordon. I think they were both Ali guys. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
He gets his 20%. Yeah, Big Marcel. Any breaking news? He'll break it off to the card. Yeah.
I have nothing on the shop.
Yeah, nothing.
I have nothing.
OnlyFans? What, for John Castenada's sister? That's who Marcel sent me a picture of, by the way.
No, not OnlyFans. No.
Send me a picture of Ask Castenada. Go on Instagram, guys. What's your prediction of Bones?
You asked me how I know. I mean, when I go to Instagram and I see pictures from fighters, sometimes they have their relatives on the same picture. So that's how I know, But
by the way, you picked Gordon too, right? By the way, I didn't hear you.
Gordon decision.
Yeah. I was going to pick Bones here, Stan Collectibles, obviously, but I think Stipe had a chance. I don't think he's a complete write-off. Baki Duwambe, that's in PFL, right? I think.
Yeah.
Must be a Euro UFC card. I'm pretty sure they'll go to London next March, Glenn, I would imagine, right? So, all right, let's go to the next fight.
I think they go to Manchester, but we'll see.
Manchester, yeah, one of those cities in England. All right, the next fight here, guys. And this is one that's kind of in dispute now because we're hearing it could be off, but at this point, it's still listed. So, Nazim Sadykhov versus Borshchev, and
easiest fight on the card to pick.
Easiest fight.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 130 Nazim, plus 110 Slava. I mean, I'll let you go first. Then, who do you think?
Nazim takes him down and he wins the fight. That's pretty much how I see it going. Listen, Borshchev has 0 takedown defense. Borshchev is pretty much a striker. Very fun striker, by the way, and that's why they matched him up with Mahashate last time out, because Mahashate was going to strike with him. Sadykhov is not going to strike with him. Yeah. Maybe a little bit, but he takes it to the ground. And I think Sadykhov finishes first round submission. That's how I see it going.
I like him too, dude. I like him too here, man. So it's not dog, but he's only minus 130. I was surprised. I thought the odds would be higher. I know Slava's got power, but the takedown defense is 35%. It's just bad. It's just bad. Sadykhov is more well-rounded. I know you use that fence, like the foot in the fence thing against, was it McKinney or whatever? You kind of grab the fence, or hand on the fence, not even foot. Kind of, broke the rules a bit, but hey, ended up coming back and winning that fight. I think I've been elder fight. I guess he got bailed out. I get it. He got bailed out by the cut, but still winning the fights, finishing guys, finish that guy in Contender. Again, a New York guy. I think most of the New York fighters win on this card. I think Sadykhov wins a decision here, Marcel. I think he takes. Why would he strike with Slava?
Yeah, there's no reason to. Yeah.
Mike Davis took down Slava 9 times, and what's the other guy? DKC 11 times. He just has really bad takedown defense, and even if it's on the feet, it's not like Sadykhov sucks as a striker. He's good, So I think he's got quite a few advantages. He's younger, southpaw stance too. The grappling is just huge in his favor. Slava can beat the guys that are just strikers like a Mahashate or Dakota Bush, who's just not UFC caliber, or Chris Duncan, who's just again he's decent, but again more of a striker. But when you take on these guys that are so well rounded, like a Sadykhov, yeah, I don't like the matchup. Sadykhov, what do you think? Decision?
Submission, first round.
Submission. Holy fuck. There you go. I mean, Sadykhov has finished a lot of his fights, so I don't blame you at all. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. Alessandro Costa against Astro Boy Steve Erceg. And I mean, this fight's not bad as well, Marcel. It was what was the fight originally? It was Matt Schnell, Steve Erceg?
Yeah, right? Matt Schnell, Steve Erceg, yeah.
I love Steve Erceg in that fight. I don't think Matt Schnell's that good personally. I think he's very, very hittable and breakable. Anyways, this fight, actually, the odds are, it's interesting. The odds actually went down, even though Costa's taking the fight at short notice. But minus 155, Erceg plus 130 on Costa. What do you think, man?
It's actually a really difficult fight, I feel, I think Erceg looked really good against Dvorak, Costa also kind of looked good. And I think he also looked good against Albazi until he got finished, in the third round. He did pretty well. He's in a good team, right? He's with Diego Lopes, Alexa Grasso, Lupita Godinez. He's in a good team, and I think he might surprise here. I'm not sure, I think it will be a super close fight. I think Erceg probably be the favorite here, but man, I wouldn't be surprised if Costa wins. I think I might pick Costa here, maybe by a close decision. I think it will be a fun fight, really fun fight.
Yeah. You taking Costa?
Yeah, I think I could take Costa. Yeah.
So there's a dog pick for Marcel. Roof. There you go, another one. Kang. I'm leaning Erceg, but like I said, I liked him way better against Matt Schnell. Like, this is more of a tougher fight, I think, just because Costa is dangerous, man. Like, we saw against Jimmy Flick, looked fucking great in that fight. But again, that Amir Abazi fight gets brutally knocked out. I think Erceg is just good everywhere. Good striker, really good grappler. Looked great against David Dvorak. He won a bonus even though he didn't finish the fight. Like, that shows you how dominant that performance was. It was very good. I have to pick him. I mean, after that fight, I was like, okay, I'm definitely picking Erceg against whoever. And again, another thing I like, he's just a lot bigger, right? He's 4 inches taller. He just looks like a bigger guy. He's just a big flyweight, one of the bigger guys. I do think No is good, though, Marcel. That's his dick in Costa. I think he's good. So I think this fight is interesting. It's not a lock for
Erceg. He looks like the guy of The Office.
It's my pick. Pardon?
He looked like the guy from The Office.
Who?
Erceg.
Which guy?
Michael. What's that? Michael Scott.
Like
The Office.
Steve Carell, like the main
Steve
guy.
Carell,
he kind of does a little bit. Yeah, but more like when he was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. You've seen that? Oh, fucking classic, eh? Oh my god, that movie's so fucking funny, bro. That is I could quote so many things from that movie, but yeah, it's so good. Anyways, and you know what? I'll say this, Ponto, he's right. If Nazim's off, they could do that Mentalish and Slav, like they could match up the two guys. That's what they would do, I would assume, right? Even though it's not fair to those guys, they've been training for each other. Anyways, let's go to the next fight here. We got Tabatha Ricci taking on Loopy Godinez. Odds for this one, Loopy's favorite. She is minus 150, 170 now, plus 140 on Ricci. I don't know about you, man, but I like Loopy in this fight, Marcel. Like, she looked, I thought, unbelievable in her last fight against Elise Reed. I know Elise Reed's not very good, but when Loopy's on, she is one of the better fighters in that weight class. It's just the inconsistency, right? That's the problem. I just think with that new camp she's with, she won 3 straight fights now. That new camp she's with Grasso, it's not a new camp, but she just got there a few fights ago. With Grasso and those other girls, she looked great. And really, if you look at it, 5 of her last 6 fights are wins. The loss is to Hill. It's not a bad loss to have. Hill is a good fighter, and she's learned from that fight and gained experience. I like Ricci. I've actually picked her in all of her fights except for a few. I'm actually perfect on Ricci's fight, so I'm 5-0 in her fights. I really like her, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't like Tabatha Ricci, right? But I don't know, man. I just think like she's so reliant on the grappling. I don't think it's going to work here. And like her striking to me is not good at all. She's super hittable, negative striking differential. And I don't know. It just seems like she's just been hanging out with her new boyfriend a lot of the time. Like, I don't know, man. To me, it's just not a good spot for her. I like Loopy here. She looked so good in her last fight. I have to keep the hot hand going. She's only 2 years younger than Tabatha. It's not like they're super, far off in age. Loopy by decision. I think it'll be, it won't be easy to take down Ricci, but she'll get her down and she'll hold her there for enough time to win the decision. That's my pick. Loopy Godinez by decision. What do you think?
By the way, again, like I said last time, Loopy with her hair loose, she should go by Lupita. She looks like a fucking gangster. She's awesome. So she should go by Lupita. Lupita Godinez. Look who comes there, against Tabatha Ricci. I think it's a fun matchup. I really like it, actually. Man, it's kind of difficult, man, because Loopy has been inconsistent before. You know what I mean? And with Tabatha, she actually only lost to Manon Fiorot in a higher weight class. Yep. So for me, it's like, I don't know if it's recency bias. So I also feel like I'm going with Loopy here by a decision. But I won't be surprised if Tabatha gets a win because I think they are very well matched here. I think it's a fun fight. I like it a lot. one of the better fights on the card, I think. And definitely on the ground, this will be fun. So, but I'm going with Loop. If she does her hair loose, I'm going with Lupita, and otherwise I go with Loopy.
That's funny. All right, go to the next fight here, guys. This is the first main card fight. We have Pat Sabatini taking on Diego Lopes. First off, what do you think about this fight opening the main card for the 30th anniversary card for the UFC?
They should have.
That?
They should have kept Frevola against BSD there. I think that would be the perfect opener. That would be a banger. I think this is more of a technical ground fight. This one,
Again, I think it's a good fight, but this is more of a fight that's on like a fight night card. I think. I don't think this is like this like the rest of the cards, like the last top 4 fights are all definitely pay-per-view quality fights. And this might be a good fight, but it seems out of place to me. But that's all I'll say. Odds for this one, they're close, Marcel. Very close. Minus 120, Pat Sabatini, plus 100 on Diego Lopes. So basically a pick-up fight, but a lean towards Sabatini. Your pick, my friend. What do you think?
This is a typical fight where people, and I'm probably as well, going to get with recency bias, you know what I mean? Because we saw Diego Lopes against Evloev, he did a very good fight, he lost the fight, and then he got that great win over Gavin Tucker. Pat Sabatini, at the other side, there's only one loss in the UFC, that was against Damon Jackson. Overall, he did very well in the UFC, completely destroyed Lucas Almeida in his last fight, which was really impressive to me, So I understand why he's a favorite here. I think it's a super close fight. I think Diego is really good on the ground. It's actually Alexa Grosso's BJJ coach. He also trains with Costa, Godinez, etc. Very fun fight. I think can go both ways. I see this going to a decision. I'm going with Diego Lopes, but I'm not sure. This can also go to Sabatini. It's a close fight. It's going to be a ground fight. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. Going to see a lot of fun grappling exchanges. I think. Diego Lopes for me, decision. But hey, don't put. This is a fight I would stay away from to put money on.
Well, I'm with you. Roof, like a second dog. I know he's only plus 100, but still technically a dog. I'm going with Lopes too. Sabatini is good. Don't get me wrong, but here's the thing: even if he takes Lopes down, which he probably will take him down in this fight because Lopez's takedown defense is not good, I still think Diego can like sweep him or like do something on the ground from the bottom too. Like he's just very exciting and very dangerous everywhere it goes. So I think he's going to make it very difficult for Sabatini to ever like just really rest and can stay on top and just hold him there. I don't think that's going to happen in this fight. I think it's going to be Lopes constantly working, and I do feel like the cardio will be in his advantage as the fight goes on too. Kind of. I think it'll be a competitive fight. Obviously, that's why the line's so close. Pat will probably have a lot of success early, and I think as the fight goes on, you will see Lopes win the fight down the stretch. I was looking back at Sabatini's first fight was against Tristan Connolly. Connolly won the third round, and Sabatini held on for dear life. That's kind of how I feel like this is going to go. I'm thinking Lopes by decision. I think a finish is possible too, to be honest, but Lopes by decision is my pick. We both have a consensus dog here. Let me get some comments. Lopes for sure. He's an exciting guy. Not Sabatini. Did you notice that Blaze Gelt his T bones were announced a little bit back in July? Yeah, whenever they announced those that early, that happens. I'm fine with Diego Lopes on pay-per-view to say he is good. He is good. He does have a lot of finishes, so it's possible for sure. I like him too. True. It looks like we all like Lopes here. It's interesting. Yeah, that's the thing, right? The Damon Jackson fight. I think his brother just passed away. And he had so much like pent up energy and just came out and clocked him. I don't think anyone expected that in that fight. So you never know, man. Every fight's different, right? All right, we both have the same pick here, Marcel. We got Diego Lopes to win this fight, and let's go to the next one here, guys. We have, I think this is my pick for fight tonight. I don't know about you, Matt Frevola against Benoit Saint-Denis. Odds for this one, Benoit Saint-Denis is favored here, minus 230. Matt Frevola plus 185. I think this is I can't say it's the best fight in the card because the two title fights are awesome, but I think it's the third best fight in the card, best non-title fight. It's just a fucking exciting fight. I mean, both guys have been absolutely ridiculously red hot. Sort of Benoit. I mean, the guys won. Well, since that beating of Zaleski, we're all like, oh man, this guy, is not good. This guy's kind of got fraud checked there a little bit, right? Like after being undefeated on the regional scene, comes after that, comes from the UFC and wins 4 straight fights by stoppage and looks amazing in every single fight. And remember, he's back at lightweight where he should have been the whole time. As a lightweight, he's never lost. I mean, the guys look fucking amazing. He's basically destroying everyone, laying them to waste. His striking is ridiculous. His ground game is ridiculous. I think the guy's really good, man. And then you have Frevola, who's, again, a guy that came in the UFC that lost a couple fights at the beginning of his career, Marcel, and just wasn't looking that good. He's been chin-checked a few times, but lately he's been amazing. 3 straight wins by knockout. Knocked out Drew Dober, first guy to finish him. Drew Dober by strikes, I think, in like 15 years or something. It was just incredible. So in his last 3 fights, 6 knockdowns. That fight with the Gennaro Valdez guy was ridiculous. 4 knockdowns in that fight. The guy's turned a corner, man. I didn't think he was that good, but he's really proven me wrong. That being said, Marcel, he's still been knocked out a couple times. I still don't trust his chin completely. He is the one New York guy I think that I'm not picking on this one. I'm going with Benoit Saint-Denis. I think he chin checks him. First round knockout. That's my pick. What do you think?
I'm with you, man. I'm also with Benoit Saint-Denis here. I think he wins the fight, but not by knockout. I have submission second round. The thing is, like, Frevola, very fun fighter, but Frevola is like the guy who was pretty good on the ground. I fell in love with the striking, and he paid for it a couple of times against Paulo Reyes, for example, earlier in his career. I think Frevola is a fun fighter, don't get me wrong, but I have more trust that Benoit Saint-Denis can pull it off because I think he's both on the feet and on the ground very good. He's very overall fighter. He gets a strong game. So for me, Benoit Saint-Denis, submission second round.
Yeah, that's our pick. We have the same one. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, guys. It is the women's fight between Jessica Andrade and Mackenzie Dern at 115. Mackenzie Dern is favored here, minus 200, plus 160 on Andrade. Marcel, I got to be honest. I think Dern is like one of my most confident picks on the card. I don't know about you, but I think she wins. And there's a few reasons. Number one, she looked like otherworldly against Angela Hill. It was her best performance of her career. And even against Yan Janon, she looked good in that fight too. It was majority decision, could have easily been like a draw. I think she's kind of leveling up. I just thought that the Hill fight was ridiculous. I think they said that was her first fight since her divorce, right? So took a lot of frustration out. And then Andrade, again, one of my favorite women fighters of all time, really. I mean, she's been incredible, but 3 straight losses by stoppage. Now, Ali Abdelaziz, her manager, gets her all these fights. This is her 5th fight this year, Marcel. Her 5th fight this year. And she's 1-3 with 3 stoppage losses, and she's building up prospects to fight for the belt. And that's what's going to happen here. Dern gets her to the ground and submits her in, I'll say the first round even. I think Andrade, unfortunately, is on a big decline here. And she has just a hard fight. Like, don't get me wrong, Andrade still beats a lot of the women at 115. There's no doubt. Even at 125, she beats them. But a ground ace like Dern submits her. I'm pretty confident Mackenzie Dern this weekend. What do you think, man?
Why do you think the UFC made the fight?
They want her to win, dude, obviously.
Yeah. But I'm going with the decision. I'm going with decision for Dern. I'm not going with submission. I think Andrade is still pretty decent, but she's not top level probably anymore, she's like, how can you say that? She was top level like maybe 2 years ago, but she got passed by some girls, and very bad for her, actually, I think Dern wins the fight. I think she gets her to the ground. I don't think she submits her, but I think she wins the decision. I have more trust in Dern right now than Andrade.
Andrade has been submitted 4 times in the UFC. I don't like that at all. And also, she's like against Valentina, got finished on the ground too with the strike. So she's just, it's her weakest part of her game. I mean, if the fight stays on the feet, I think Andrade beats her. But even then, like, Dern has made some improvements. Then Aaron Blanchard was outstriking her. That was really like a really bad sign for me. And again, why is Ali having her fight so much, guys? Like, I know she said she had like lost money. Like, was it with her ex-wife? Maybe, remember? Like the ex-wife took all their money or something. So
possible.
I think so. I think that's why she's fighting so often. But again, if you're getting these bad matchups, it's tough. I like Dern a lot in this fight, guys. I really think she wins. Let me get some comments here. I don't understand why Andrade should the fight because Ali Abdelaziz gets his 10%. Taking bad fights with the Castenada company, absolutely. She is like Lewis a little bit. The women's Lewis. He's not wrong. She can still win once in a while, right? Again, actually, I shouldn't say once in a while. Andrade still beats a lot of the women fighters at 150 and 125. But she's fighting these top 5 girls that are grapplers. It's just bad matchups. Jessica Andrade's fall from Grace's Dorm. Rafe is one of the worst declines I've ever seen in women's MMA. I mean, Marcus, you just hit the nail on the head, brother. Andrade with the upset. Really? You think so? All right, we'll see. For OnlyFans hater bills. That's what it was, yeah. Andrade's ex took her to the cleaners. She did. I think she took all of her money. fucked up. I'm clearly trying to make some back. I respect that, the hustle, but these fights are just bad matchups for her. I'm not taking her in this fight. All right, Marcel, we got 2 more fights here, man. Let's go to the main co-main event.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Aspinall taking on Sergey Pavlovich for the interim UFC heavyweight title. And the odds for this one have -115 for Tom Aspinall, -105 for Pavlovich. So essentially a pick 'em, very slightly in for Aspinall, but essentially a pick 'em. You're laying juice either way. I want to hear your pick, Marcel. Who's your pick? Interim heavyweight title fight.
This is for the actual heavyweight title, in my opinion, not for the interim. So I'm saying this is for the heavyweight title. I mean, fun fight, stylistic fun matchup as well. Pavlovich is coming from all those knockouts, Aspinall from those quick wins as well. The thing is, like, everybody's like, oh, Aspinall had a great comeback last time. Yeah, but everybody expected him to do that against Tibura. Let's be honest. He did what he had to do. And maybe not in that fashion that quickly, but everybody expected him to win that fight. Pavlovich got that win over Blades. Looked really good in that fight. And the thing is, I was an Aspinall first, but I overthought it a little bit. And if you think about it, Pavlovich was already in training for this fight. Or for a fight to as a backup. Aspinall wasn't in training. He was in training, but he wasn't in training for an actual fight. So that kind of worries me here, Also, Aspinall's knee hasn't been checked so far, in my opinion, after that he came back. Man, I honestly think if Aspinall doesn't get the takedown, he probably tries to get the takedown here, I think. I think Pavlovich knocks him out in the first round. But at the same time, I won't be shocked if Aspinall knocks him out or submits him, because I think Aspinall has more tools to win, honestly. But I feel like it's just a bad moment, this one, for Aspinall. So Pavlovich knockout first round for me. I think we differ here.
Yeah, this one's just tough, though. I'm not betting on this. I would never bet on this fight. This is too hard to bet on, I think, because of like you said, the short notice for Tom, and then the fact Sergey was just a backup. Like, he wasn't really preparing for anyone. He was preparing for the card. They're both super impressive. Pavlovich has been ridiculous lately. The 6 straight knockouts, unbelievable. But doesn't have that loss to over and you got taken down and beaten, right? So Aspinall, I think Aspinall has him on the ground here, and that's why I'm leaning him, because I think he's more well rounded. So I'm leaning Aspinall, but it just worries me with the short notice, man. It really is a worry for me. So. When it first got announced, I was like, "Oh man, Tom Aspinall's an underdog," and plus money for sure, But now you're laying a little bit of juice, and I know it's not a lot of juice, guys, but if you got him at plus money, I think that was a good bet. But for me, I'm just gonna stay away from it now at this point, Marcel. I'll stay away from this one. I don't feel as good as I did a couple weeks ago when it got announced. I was all gung ho and excited about it. I'm excited for the fight, but I was like, oh, I'm betting on Aspinall. But now, the closer it gets, I'm getting worried a little bit. That's why we have time to break the fights down, right? Because sometimes your initial reaction doesn't match up with how you feel.
Let's be honest. Out of 10 times, we'll probably go 8 times with our initial reaction, and then at a certain moment, you can still change because you overthink more stuff.
I think Pavlovich definitely could knock him out. I also think Tom could knock him out. But again, the reason I'm picking Tom is because I think you can also submit him. That's why I'm picking
more ways to win. Yeah, I agree with you.
That's why I'm picking Tom. So I'll pick Tom here by stoppage, obviously. This fight is not going 5 rounds. It won't be. I don't see it. Imagine it's like the Jailton Lewis fight, Marcel. Oh my God, I hope it's not. But I don't see it going 5, guys. I think it's a stoppage. I think I'm pretty confident it's a stoppage. Let's see some comments here. Andrade has the tools to mentally she might be done. What's up, Edward? Like Sergey knocks at Aspinall. Yeah, the 6-inch region advantage is huge. I don't like Aspinall taking the fight short notice. Didn't sound good as conditioning. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, Marcus. That's why I'm worried. Sergey might knock out for sure. That's the thing, though. Like, if it is only a one round fight, either way, like Tom can still win even with bad cardio and the bad conditioning for that fight. I'm not saying he's bad cardio. He's got really good cardio, but again, only has what? How much time did Tom have to prepare? 2.5 weeks? 3 weeks? That's not a lot of time. Pavlov's ground games. That's what I'm saying. Again, that's why I'm picking Aspinall. Yeah, this is not going to go far, Glenn. Caroline Pierce said there's something for Aspinall that nobody else. He knew, but nobody else. Okay, maybe.
Oh,
anyways, for sure. All right, let's go to the main event, guys. Last fight in the card. Last fight we'll talk about today, and it's a good one. Jiri Prochazka taking on Alex Pereira for the UFC light heavyweight title. At this point, Hill is still the champ, but when these guys enter the cage, I believe he vacates the title at that point, right? I'm correct? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So odds for this one, minus 125, Alex Pereira, plus 105, Jiri Prochazka. Marcel, give me your thoughts. And I think the fight's amazing. I mean, it's an incredible fight. You know what? Even though they're not the biggest, superstars ever in the UFC, I don't think it gets much better than this for the 30th anniversary card. This fight's amazing. This is an incredible fight. So who's your pick, man?
Yeah, it's a good fight, man. I really like it. The thing is, how does Prochazka come back after that bad injury he had? We don't know. I expect a stand-up battle pretty much. Pereira will be strong, I think. He's still got the knockout power, but I wasn't really impressed what he showed against Blachowicz. I know many people were, but I wasn't actually. Prochazka had a lot of trouble with Glover, actually, got the win. He probably would have lost if it went to the scorecards, if I remember correctly. Close fight, can go either way. I feel more comfortable with picking Prochazka. Picking Prochazka by knockout in the second round.
Man, what a fight here. Both guys are incredible, man. I love this matchup so much. Yuri's fight with Glover is one of my favorite fights of all time. That fight was amazing. It's just, again, 17 months ago. So long. It's just a long layoff. And a lot changes in the sport. And I know he's still super young and everything, but that's a long time to be away. And in that time, since he's been off, Pereira's fought 3 times. He beat Israel by knockout, got knocked out in the rematch, and then beat Jan by split decision. I'm more impressed by that win over Jan than you are, because number one, it was his debut at 205. Number 2, it was against the former champion. Number 3 was that high elevation in Utah, where it's just very difficult in your lungs. And he was the fresher guy who ended up grinding it out. And I was impressed by that, because everyone's like, oh, he's a knockout artist. The cardio is not very good, but I think he's shown pretty good cardio. He also knocked out Israel in the 5th round too. So I'm not worried about that. Jiri, again, he can go the full 5-2. What I'm worried about with Jiri, guys, is the striking defense. I mean, he's been tagged quite a few times in the UFC. I understand he's not been finished, whereas Pereira has been. But Jiri has been finished in his career. He's been knocked out before. It's not like he's unbeatable. I know he's won 13 straight fights. It's been impressive, but again, he has lost. He has been finished. So it's not like he's unstoppable. I won't make any doubts that he's improved a lot over the years. He's incredible. I don't like picking against a guy like this because of the win streak and because he is such a good fighter, so dangerous everywhere. And the fact he submitted Glover is amazing, right? And we know he's knocked people out. But again, Pereira is fucking dangerous too, and Pereira is still one of the best knockout artists in the UFC. And if you look at his resume, for a guy who's been in the UFC for 2 years, he's just been in the UFC for 2 years. Today is November 6th. He made his debut November 6th, 2021. Yeah. And since then, he is 5-1 in the UFC with 3 knockout wins, including 2 over Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya, and another win over Jan Blachowicz. It's pretty fucking impressive. So I'm picking Pereira by knockout. So we have a different pick in this one, Marcel. I think he's going to catch Jiri and finish him. So, I mean, it's such a good fight. Let me see what people say. Lover, Alex. Yeah, if anyone else has any comments, so throw them in there. We'll get it. But let's just run back through the card, Marcel. See if we had different picks on the main event, the co-main event. You took Costa, I took Erceg. That's the other one. You picked Kang, I took Castenada, and was that it? I think that's it, right?
That's it, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so dog-wise, we had one consensus dog on the card. It's Diego Lopes. That's our consensus dog. Who's your most confident pick? Give me your most, two most, your most confident one.
2 most confident pick. Nazim Sadykhov.
Sure.
And let me think. My 2 most confident pick, Nazim Sadykhov, like I said, and Josh Van.
Josh Van for me too. So I guess that's a guy we both really like, and I like Dern too. I think she wins too. So those are my most confident ones. Pereira's more technical. I'd rather lose to the past King. Yeah. Well, the thing with the King Mo fight, I'm pretty sure was it the second fight of the night?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so too. So just keep that in mind. But and the other thing is we need to talk about the shoulder injury. I mean, he could. It's crazy enough that he's the kind of guy that's so crazy he come back better from it. But I don't know. What's gonna be fight of the night? Benoit Saint. Well, I was gonna say Benoit Saint for Frevola, but I might get finished really quick. It'll be good while it lasts. I could see. Yeah, I guess that would still be my pick. I can also see Erceg and Costa being a fight of the night. I think it could be a sleeper. That's actually I looked at it. I just realized, Marcel. I think I said I thought Ricci and Loopy was the main event of the prelims. Did they change that now to Erceg and Costa?
Yeah, I don't know what's up. It's still not fully completed, so
Okay,
they changed it around again. So
if that's the main event of the prelims, then you can see that UFC likes that matchup too. It'll be a fun one. So, who's your pick for fight tonight?
Yeah, I'm torn between Diego Lopes, Sabatini, and Frevola at BSD.
Yeah. Who's Mig Barcel?
I don't know. Who is that?
You spelled your name wrong.
No, you just don't look good at it. It's clearly Big Marcel 24.
That's funny. All right.
Didn't you see it during the podcast?
I saw it at one point, but I wasn't really like paying attention. That's funny though. I didn't get the 42. He was the real one. All right, Marcel, let's end this podcast, man. It was a lot of fun, guys. Really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get out of here. Marcel, plug your stuff. Anything you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Marcel Dorf. You can find my stuff at Mick Barcel 42. No, Big Marcel 24. Yeah, I'm writing articles for Eurosport, trying to do fight announcements, that kind of shit, you know. Yeah, weekly podcasts with the Canadian goat over here. I should say over here, Adam Martin. Adam Martin. Follow him as well on Twitter and Instagram, mostly on Twitter or X, I should say. Yeah, we will be back next week, and then we have the recap of UFC 295, and we have the preview of UFC Vegas 82, Brandon Allen versus Paul Craig. And I wish everybody a great Saturday with a lot of fun fights, and I hope you enjoy the show 30th anniversary, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast as well, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I go with same sentiments, and again, you guys follow me on Twitter at Adam Martin, always there to talk about it, talk about MMA. Bookies.com. I'll get my best bets out tomorrow. No, I'm not doing as much these days, but we still got the podcast, still do my article, still watch the sport. I got a lot going on in my personal life, but I still love the sport, man. That's the one thing that's consistent in my life for the last 15 years has been my love for the sport. So a couple of comments we'll get before we get out of here. Peace. I appreciate that. Great show, Marcus. Always appreciate it, man. Thanks for the stream, Martin. YouTube Mig. Martin and Mig sounds good. Yeah, it's funny. Joe, what's up? Take this question. With the main events booked for 279, 297 to 299, what happens with Islam? 300 is doing wrong out till summer. Maybe. I don't know. Is he out?
Maybe he fights in the June event or something, or the May one. I don't know. We'll see.
Against Charles?
Yeah, I would think against Charles. I mean, I think Ali tweeted that Charles doesn't deserve it, should be Gaethje, but he manages Gaethje as well, so I understand he wants that. But I think they should do the Charles rematch. I think Charles deserves it. So yeah,
I agree. All right,
that's my opinion,
guys. Appreciate it. Pardon?
That's my opinion, dude. That's my opinion.
And we come to the show every Monday evening and sometimes Sunday mornings to listen to Marcel's opinion. Appreciate everyone joining us, guys. We'll be back next week. Peace.